Hey folks, Dude here, coming to you. Wait a minute, what's this on my background? Sound guy strikes again. Tactical backboard, love sound guy. And he did put a little smiley face. Dude. You know what, dude? No. Oh well, you get what you get when you hire cheap work, and sound guy's definitely cheap. My tale of woe essentially is going to be comprising pocket protection, as we're probably going to be describing today, and I'm going to tell you about my tale of woe. Essentially, a 10-ounce monster called the Swiss Champ. All the boogers on board, does all the stuff you ever want to do. Only problem is, it's 10 ounces of pocket-destroying madness. Is it as hardcore as, the Explorer Survivor 2 with, some ridiculous amount of Rambo-style stuff on board? No, but this is not pocketable, okay? That's just not going to work so good. This guy is a pocket-shredding monster that'll just completely destroy your pocket within short order, and I've had this thing forever. You can tell it's got, two different colors of scales on it. This has been my daily driver for freaking ever, and it's worn out more of my pants pockets than I could shake a stick at. So what can you do as a step down and actually might hold you in good stead? Well, you could go with something along the lines of this one. This is a Fisherman Plus, and this is a very unusually encountered, very rare, very not, it's an abnormal Swiss Army knife to see, mostly because it's a Fisherman with a saw blade. Really unusual. Comes closer to actually being closer to like a camper or like a Spartan, one of those guys. But you know what? One of my absolute favorite ones currently is still the Huntsman. And you can always tell something about Swiss Army knives. I got writing on here. That's why I got, duct tape on there. But the Huntsman I rather like because it's basically like a camper or a Spartan with a saw blade. Now, the other thing, too, is if you're going to carry a Swiss Army knife, if you don't do this to yourself in any way, shape, and form, you're cutting yourself short big time because you want to get all the maximum amount of tools in something that doesn't kill you. Now, Swiss Army knives are always described with layers, how many actual layers there is. This one, of course, being a 4-layer knife. Has a minimum amount of tools on the bottom. Of course, they always have the corkscrew. They usually have a tie-down device. That's pretty much universal in all of them. Almost always you will find a big screwdriver with a bottle cap opener. You will find a smaller screwdriver with a can opener. And if you're smart, you always have a pair of scissors. Why are you ragging out your knife blade sharpness when you could use a pair of scissors and do the mini snips? Of course, you have both cutting blades. Always use the scissors in that regard. That way you're not wearing out your primary cutting surfaces. Also have the saw. You can use the saw when you don't want to wear out any of those things because it's a very aggressive cutter. I've buzzed through 2x4s and freaked people out with just how good these things cut. This is an excellent knife. I would definitely say the Huntsman is on the top of my list of good carry items. Also, you're talking something that's about literally half the size of a champion or a champ. The only thing you really give it up pretty much is a pair of pliers and a magnifying glass. You can find these guys with a magnifying glass with other model iterations. But the other thing, too, is also if you're talking about something that's not going to kill your pockets way too much, have way oversized things, and that's the other thing, too. These are the 90-plus millimeter size versus the smaller ones like this guy. This is a 58 millimeter. This is known as a classic or an executive. So what you have here essentially is you're not giving up that much, really. I mean, you still have an itty-bitty pair of scissors. You still got your toothpick. You still got your tweezers. But also you have a penknife. And it's a very, very thin profile penknife. So this thing's going to cut like crazy if it's sharp. You also have on board a very, very decent nail file, a very, very decent crap cleaner outer on your fingernails, and good stuff like that there. So these guys in the 58, they're eminently portable. You're also talking something that's, minuscule compared to the standard 90-plus millimeter size Swiss Army. Now, what can you do as something that's a good alternative to running and gunning with these guys? Well, let's just do big to small here, okay? Let's just make it easy on everybody. So you can see, just literally what we're looking at in terms of the scale of items. Now, I'm getting ready to take a vacation probably in a while, and I don't want to carry around this because that's not enough. This might be a little too big, and this one is just, this is right out. So what would I do in its place? Well, I would think along the lines of I'd want to have something that's that size, but I want more stuff on board. So what would I get? I would probably get this one, which is known as the Executive/Mini Champ in the 58 millimeter size. This little booger is ready to run and gun. What does it have on board? Why, it's got a pair of scissors. A cuticle thing for, basically dealing with those nifty little nail problems. It also has a mini ruler slash screwdriver right here. So that's eminently good stuff. On board, you also have a sheep's foot blade. Very, very sharp little booger there because its profile is really, really tiny. Of course, you do have the penknife on board. You do have the nail file. You do have the little burr to deal with your, problems of your nails and what have yous. Also, you have, this one always seemed to crack me up more than anything. I don't know why you would have this on board, but it is an orange, an orange device. Where you basically can get into the skin, de-skin your orange, and you're ready to run a gun. I don't know why you want to have a whole bunch of orange juice inside your knife. That's not good stuff. But this one is very eminently portable. It is absolutely minuscule in comparison to these guys. I mean, if you start looking at like sheer size, and I know like you have that perspective thing, it is bitty. Very bitty. Now, you probably want to have a couple things there on board. Like I said, pretty much you're giving up on this one. You're losing the pliers, you're losing a couple of tools. So what would you do in its place? I would say probably want to augment it with one of these guys. And this one, of course, being the Leatherman Squirt. Now, these are really kind of cool. Very comparatively sized to that, bitty guy right there. You do have a pair of pliers, you do have a pair of wire cutters, 2 sizes jaw on board, very thin profile, very easy, very portable, and of course, snaps open and then closed. Also has a keyring device on board. What do you have on this side? Well, you got yourself a miniature screwdriver here. On the other side, you also have another bottle cap and opener screwdriver. On the other side, you have another pair of scissors. Very handy. So what would be on the other side of this big bad mamma jamma? Well, you pretty much had those 3 things on this side. You flip it over to the other side, you have, it's going this way, I believe. Hang on a second. Another metal, fine, coarse, miniature saw kind of a thing where you basically have a file. So that's eminently handy. You basically touch up your nails or something such. You have another blade. This one, of course, being more of your conventional, just standard configuration knife. But between these 2 items, you're really not giving up that much versus, horsing this tank around. So I'm going to probably use these 2 guys on the next trip that I take, which should probably be there in the summertime sometime. And I'm going to be carrying these guys mostly because getting through the TSA with your checked luggage is so much easier if you're not having some guy going, hey, something just showed up on the x-ray machine. We got to now go fishing through your stuff. So if they see something that looks familiar, like a Swiss Army knife, they're going to be all over it. But if they see something tucked in behind something else, it looks like part of the components of the luggage, they are less likely to go through your stuff. And you got to remember, too, there's always the thieves. And what they do is they go into your luggage, they pop the zipper, they unzip your stuff, they fish through your things, and then use your zipper, which is locked together with both the sides of the little zipper things, to re-zip your luggage. The best thing I can tell you about that one is if you want to stop that, zip tie your stuff with an unusual colored zip tie. That will stop them in their tracks. Because if you break a zip tie that's the wrong color and you put another colored zip tie on there, automatically your stuff was gone through and something got pinched. All right, folks, we're going to break over this one. Remember, always, there is many, many, many sizes of things which you utilize on your trips. Sometimes smaller, you're really not giving up that much. And also, size-wise, the coolest part about it is, oh yeah, where do these guys fit? Why, look, they fit perfectly in one of these. Bam! Ready for the trip. Catch you guys later. Have a good one. Eat good, keep on as always. You know it, you love it. Cool stuff. You probably should, just watch YouTube for, good and educational videos. And am I good and educational? That remains to be seen. But I do talk about knives, so I appreciate you guys coming on and check out my stuff. So we'll break up this one. Catch you guys later. Have a good one. And like I usually say, see you guys in...